topics, boys. We got the final preview of 007 First Light. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. From good old IGN, boys. IGN put out their final preview for 007 First Light. Now, people are praising this game. And by people, I mean the gaming media. They are praising this game. I don't think there's any scores available for it just yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be very high. Just like Sorrows, by the way. And look how that's turning out. So now we got 007 First Light. I do plan to review this game. I do already have this game. It was gifted to me. Thank you for that. And I think a lot of people are curious about this game. A lot of people are curious about it because from a gameplay perspective, it looks like a standard, duck and shoot style kind of video game, right? But then it's also supposed to be an origin story for 007, which nobody asked for. But, here we are. You always got to have an origin story that nobody asked for, right? So let's check out this video and see what is going on with 007 First Light, the final preview from IGN. Here we go. Yes, grab your alcohol. You're going to need
National super spy James Bond.
Also, just an FYI, I thought this was really weird. That apparently the video script for this final preview was written by someone and narrated by someone else. It's like, so it was written by this journalist, but then this journalist decided to narrate it for whatever reason. I have no idea. I guess they have to work together on one video game. Otherwise, they can't get, I don't know. I have no idea. Interesting.
It is certainly no stranger to video games. However, it would be fair to say that many Bond games have often focused on more familiar shoot-'em-up action spectacle while ignoring the rest of what makes 007 so much fun. There's so much potential for a Bond video game to really lean into those stealthy and socially charismatic encounters that the films capture so well. And that's what makes Hitman developer IO Interactive's long-awaited turn towards the James Bond franchise so appealing.
This is why, I'm a little concerned about the overall gameplay for this game. I don't think it's going to be bad. I just feel like it's going to be fucking mid. I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe it's because it is IO Interactive and it's the people that are behind Hitman. And I just expect something different with Hitman. I don't expect James Bond level gameplay. But again, this is supposed to be an origin story. So I feel like if you go into this with preconceived ideas of what James Bond is supposed to be, you're probably going to be disappointed. Straight up. You're probably going to be disappointed. I do hope the performance was worked on because the initial trailer that I watched, it was laggy as shit. It wasn't just like StreamYard's laggy. It was actually laggy. But I think they did work on it from what they said. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see.
It, mate. Silent but violent.
Bringing the Hitman series' social stealth and open-ended design for its take on James Bond, 007 First Light has the makings of an incredibly ambitious attempt at a fully realized spy story starring the iconic character. After spending some...
The world design looks good. I'll say that. The world design and the lighting looks very good. So that's good.
Time with the opening hours of this new James Bond origin story, I came away feeling more confident that the Hitman devs were the right team to take on this reboot, and they may just deliver on the most original take for Bond's breakout adventure.
It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
My hands-on time focused primarily on 3 missions. The opening mission set in Iceland, the MI6 training set in Malta, Italy, and a spectacle-driven infiltration and escape set at a ritzy gala in London's Kensington Borough. As a modern origin story, 007 First Light focuses on Bond's early days as an MI6 recruit and on the decisive missions that grant him his status as a true 00 secret agent.
Listen carefully. You have less than 1% chance of success. Now stand down.
I'll take those odds.
Bond.
Kicking off with an explosive mission in Iceland, Bond encounters a ruthless organization stealing secret technology.
Well, I agree. I think James Bond should be an action-focused video game. But again, it's having the preconceived ideas about what Bond should be. it's naturally going to lead to some disappointment, I have a feeling, depending on how IO Interactive actually goes about this game. If they tend to go with their Hitman routes and they make it a little more stealth focused or give you the option to pursue that more so than action, I think people will be disappointed. But I don't think that's going to happen here. From what I saw in the trailers, a lot of it's action focused. So unless they're hiding the stealth elements, that's also a possibility. I don't know. It's a tough call on this one.
At a remote facility, setting off a global chase to find those responsible. After being recruited into the agency, Bond partners up with reimagined takes on Q, Moneypenny, and other original characters who guide him and help him earn his place within MI6. There's been a variety of tones across the Bond franchise, ranging from gritty spy thrillers to more over-the-top comical spectacles. From my hands-on time with First Light's opening missions, it certainly lands more so in the slick and punchy style of both the Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig eras of Bond. But as a game, First Light is a balance between IOI's Hitman series and its focus on choice and consequence gameplay within a structured, spectacle-driven narrative similar to Naughty Dog's Uncharted series.
Who do you work for?
It's a very character-focused take on a stealth-driven action-adventure game, which packs in a lot of personality and charm.
So you heard what he said, stealth-driven action-adventure game. How do you have a stealth-driven action-adventure? Yeah, it's going to be stealth-driven, but it's an action-adventure. I mean, I guess. I understand what they're saying. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a curious thing for sure.
Showing how Bond came into his own as a spy, even when his attempts don't go
Holy shit, look at Draco Malfoy over here. God damn, I guess this is his new role. I don't know.
Smoothly.
Ouch.
This aspect also comes through in Bond's approach to engagements, which really sells his status as a well-trained yet still impulsive 20-something spy who can make the most of every opportunity. The training stage in Malta, Italy served as a good primer to the flow of First Light's take on stealth action. I gave this stage 2 attempts to see how much it would change with my choices, which was a good way to comprehend how the balance between stealth and combat works. Generally, the goal is to avoid suspicion from foes.
Well, anybody who knows me knows that in these kind of video games where stealth is implied or heavily relied upon, everybody knows I'm one of by far the best stealth gameplay people like on YouTube. Like when it comes to stealth gameplay, I am number one. And I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna go a full stealth playthrough, guaranteed. It's gonna be amazing. You guys should watch it. You'll never see stealth like what I can do. It's gonna be incredible. Like I'm gonna go 100% stealth playthrough. You guarantee exactly stealth tax. Guaranteed.
If you fail, you'll need to contain the situation.
We won't fail. We won't fail.
If things escalate and suspicion reaches a boiling point, guards may become hostile and even call in reinforcements.
That's fine. We're never going to get there. We're going to be stealth all the way.
Each scuffle with enemies is an isolated encounter, helping keep engagements from spiraling out of control for the mission. Firearms are often a last resort, and that's where melee combat fits in as the preferred choice for taking out enemies. It does well to showcase how brutal and quick Bond can be in taking down foes. However, I did feel it was a bit cumbersome to find the flow of fistfights, especially with multiple enemies coming in. First Light is a spy game.
I was going to say that I hope with the melee combat that it is more on the brutal side. I want it to be a little bit more gritty, a little more brutal, right? I don't want it to be fucking soft and there's no impact on the hits and stuff. Like I want there to be some good sound to it, some good hits to it. It sounds like there is, so I'll give them that. That's good for the most part. But no blood though. You guys notice no blood? There's no blood on this whatsoever. It's weird.
And I certainly had options at my disposal. In addition to ruthless aggression with Bond's fists and firearms, he's also got a handy Q watch and Q vision gadgets. In a similar vein to Watch Dogs, you can perform quick hacks and dismantle objects in the environment to create setups or distractions. This opened up some amusing moments where I could use a broken...
Oh, dude, Sleeping Dogs had some of the best melee gameplay, man. It was fucking incredible. It was incredible. Sleeping Dogs is one of those games that just it stands the test of time so goddamn well. It's unbelievable. It really is.
Fax machine or radio to draw a target in.
I don't know
then
if this is going to
either
be as
knock
good as
them
that,
out
obviously.
or lock them in a room to keep them out of sight. However, it should be stated that First Light takes a more punchy, momentum-driven approach to its stealth action, as opposed to the clockwork world design and slower pace of the Hitman series.
Is there no fucking blood in this game, bro? Please tell me there's going to be blood in this game. This is going to... Like, I know that there's a lot of video games you could turn off the blood in the settings and stuff like that, so I got to imagine maybe IGN has a rule to turn off blood in their reviews and shit, but please tell me this fucking game is going to have blood, bro. Because you got people getting beat up, shot, things exploding, and there's like no blood whatsoever. I can't stand that shit. That's so gay, bro. Even just a little bit, man. Something. It's not going to have it. I don't know, man.
This means you likely won't stay in locations too long to examine character routines or come up with Rube Goldberg solutions, as with Agent 47. I was also let down to see that you couldn't perform some familiar stealth actions.
Bro, he just hit him in the face with an axe.
Hiding them from view. But the more I played, the more I got used to First Light's particular take on stealth action, which is really about making a beeline to your target and getting in and out as quickly as possible. The core missions I played had a fairly guided approach, yet they still offered plenty of opportunities to find my own way to clear the objectives. The mission set in the Gala event was particularly fun and intriguing, featuring a more open-ended design that showcased First Light's tone and gameplay structure to full effect. To infiltrate the upper floors to secure valuable intel about a key target, this is where the Hitman influence kicks in, and you're given a different set of ways to infiltrate the facility in ways that tap into social engineering or even some sneaky brute forcing.
Hang on.
In my attempt to eavesdrop, I overheard a phone conversation with a PR agent complaining about a journalist late for their appointment.
She might be able to help me.
Fuck the journalist.
Assuming their identity, I then talked my way into the meeting, but I first had to get a press pass and a camera to look the part. What initially seemed like clear-cut objectives quickly went sideways when the real journalist showed up and had already checked in.
I think there must be a mistake. Mike's already checked in.
Leaving me to improvise another way up. I was able to pull that off by listening to a guard complaining about the current state of security in the building. This opened the door to use...
Yeah, you see, that's my concern, right? So Gamers Republic says this is just Hitman, but with a 007 skin. And that's my concern. That's always been my concern with this game, right? Because knowing that IO Interactive is behind this game, I just worry that that's kind of like all they know. So looking at the gameplay, I can't help but feel like that's pretty much where we're at. Now, obviously, you still got the car gameplay, which is a big part of this game as well. I'm sure they're probably going to show it. I don't know if IGN had a chance to play that or they got to that. I don't know. We'll see.
One of Bond's most impressive and valuable skills, his quick wit and charm.
Boy, have you seen a woman? One of the suspects. I saw her crawl out a window and followed her this way.
With the bluff skill, which requires action points to pull off, you can actually trick enemies and even disengage hostiles from your suspicious behavior. The power of this skill is improved when you read up on intel or gain knowledge from the environment, which lets you leverage the information to make an in with the NPCs in the level. It essentially turns those familiar Bond quips and one-liners into a gameplay maneuver, leading to slick, hilarious moments where social engineering is in full effect.
Can I help you? Security. Don't mind me. Just doing a quick sweep.
One of the more memorable moments from bluffing was during a tense stealth sequence. After knocking out a guard, another one on patrol caught me shortly after. I quickly activated the bluff skill and convinced him that the unconscious guard had suffered a medical emergency and had fallen on his own. The deception worked, and the guard disengaged from me.
So the guard is fucking
examine the
retarded.
knocked out guard, which gave me time to dispose of him as well. Eventually, I was able to sneak my way up into the upper levels, which led to an exciting boss encounter against one of First Light's recurring henchmen. Without a firearm, I had to use stealth attacks and my gadgets to sneak around and set up traps to get the best of him. But in keeping with the need to adapt, The boss learns from his mistakes and will avoid or outright deactivate any similar traps in adjoining rooms. Not long after, I encountered a more combat-driven encounter against tactical officers, and
Bro,
that's when First Light...
He shot homie in the fucking face, brother. He shot homie in the face and he flew back. You mean to tell me there is no blood splatter there? Am I going crazy? Is there really going to be no blood in this game? I know, like, I'm harping on it, but come on, man. You can't, like, you just can't. You can't do that. You got to have at least a little bit, bro. Something. Please tell me they just have it turned off. And I'm going crazy.
Light's full-on combat phase, known as License to Kill,
Bro.
engaged. In keeping with Bond's status as a spy, combat is often necessary in certain situations, and you'll have to use whatever methods you can to take out enemies, lethal or non-lethal.
Bro, they just explode in white smoke. Brother got shot in the face and it's just white smoke, man. Come on. Come on. God, I hope it's just, I really hope it's just a setting. I really do. I hope it's just IGN fucking turning it off or something like that. Because, bro, the guy literally got shot in the fucking face. You mean to tell me there's not even a little bit of blood? Like, a little bit? Come on, man.
Compared to previous Hitman games, First Light features some fantastic action mechanics.
Bro, it just explodes into white smoke. Yeah, that's actually fucking funny.
And the core shooting feels especially great when in the moment. I had some particularly cool moments where I tossed an empty submachine gun at an enemy's head before pummeling him to the ground, and when I shot a weapon out of an enemy's hand and grabbed it out of the air to fight him off with it. Closing out the mission in style, I made my exit from the gala and into...
So I just Googled it. All right. I just Googled it. Granted, this is an AI overview, so it may not be legit. Okay. But it says 007 First Light contains blood, though its implementation is reportedly limited primarily to cinematic moments rather than the gameplay effects. This game has received a teen rating from the ESR. Oh, brother. Specifically for content including blood, violence, and suggestive themes. Early reports and community feedback from gameplay showcases noted a lack of prominent blood effects during standard gun gameplay or hand-to-hand combat. Some players have described the violence as relatively bloodless in comparison to other titles, with blood appearing mostly as a splash during specific cutscenes only. Bro, we're cooked. We're cooked. This is a teen-rated Bond, bro. Disney Bond. Oh, God. No. No. Oh, my God, bro. I thought they just turned it off. I thought they just turned it off for IGN. Oh, man, bro. How the fuck are we going to do a teen-rated Bond, bro? Oh, man. Anyway.
Another firefight before boarding a garbage truck and barreling down the streets of London in reckless...
Can I just say that I'm not like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not gaslighting or hyping it up. I'm genuinely disappointed by that. I'm genuinely fucking disappointed by that. Like, you have no blood in a game where you're beating the shit out of people, shooting people in the face, and all you got is white spray exploding. Like, brother, they're treating people like they're like literal fucking teenagers, which explains why there's a teen rating on it. Like, come on, bro, are you kidding me? A teen rated Bond like that? Even the movies that were rated similarly, some of them anyway, I think they were anyway, some of them. I don't remember what they were rated. I think one of them might be PG-13. I don't remember. But even they had the violence and stuff like that. Like, come on, bro. You got to be shitting me, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
Totally
anymore.
Gave me the same vibes from GoldenEye's iconic tank chase scene.
Looks a bit tight.
The missions
exactly. So like some of you guys are saying in the chat, if they skipped out on the blood, then you know they're pulling punches in other aspects too. You know they are, right? They're pulling punches on certain storylines. They're pulling punches on certain actions they're definitely going to be pulling punches on the whole. And we already knew this, but like the whole like misogynist aspect of Bond and everything like that with women and all that shit. Like they're going to be pulling punches all along this game. That doesn't mean it can't be a good game. However, ultimately, you know that it couldn't be as good as it could have been just because they're going to be pulling punches everywhere. They'll put it together to make it work, but I don't know, man. This is just crazy shit. I can't believe there's no blood in this game. I thought we were bugging at first. I really did.
In the main story campaign, which also offers some freedom between missions to explore. However, much like the story and characters, the goals and objectives are closely tied to the larger narrative, which, according to the developers, is why they wanted a more focused take on Bond's stealth action. However, one aspect
Jimmy says the only rated M Bond game was that bad GoldenEye game for 2004. Yeah, but the thing is, you can have blood in a teen-rated video game. It says it right here. I'm literally looking at it. Like they have already been rated for teen for blood, suggestive themes, and all that shit. So would it really have killed you to add a little bit of blood splatter in a realistic setting? Like maybe when you smack the shit out of someone with a massive fist, or when you fucking shoot someone in the goddamn face. Or perhaps when you body slam their face into a fucking wall, maybe you could get a little bit of, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of blood, something. I think it's a terrible excuse. They absolutely could have put blood in this game. 100%. They're actively choosing not to. I'm not saying make it gory. I'm not saying fucking make like the blood splatter everywhere, but a little bit, bro. A little bit, something. Not white smoke. Bro, white smoke is fucking insulting. You know?
Aspect of First Light that aims to give players more freedom is the Taxim mode. While I wasn't able to play it during the preview, this side activity
really
lets you engage with standalone missions and scenarios based on full missions from the game with some twists. In a similar vein to the Hitman series, these simulations are open-ended and allow players to use whatever methods and outfits they want to accomplish objectives. I think this mode can potentially be a great outfit for players looking to cut loose and to try to push First Light's open-ended approach to missions, and I'm very excited to see what sort of hijinks that skilled players can get into. It's been many years since the last proper 007 game, and the larger Bond franchise seems to be in a state of reassessment, and that certainly puts IO Interactive's latest in a great position to deliver an exciting new Bond game cleverly.
Bro, even the Bond movies, which a lot of them, I believe, were like PG-13 rated, right? Again, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long time. But a lot of them were PG-13 rated. Some of them even PG rated, like some of the older ones. But like PG-13 is kind of where a lot of the modern Bond movies fall. But the thing is, even in the PG-13 rated movies, you still can get that level of violence. You still can get that, like, even that little bit of blood, something, anything. Like, you can get that. You could get that. Like, it's expected. The fact that you're releasing this game with zero blood in gameplay and you're only supposedly showing it in cutscenes, it just kind of shows that you're pulling your punches. For what reason? I have no idea. Other than, hey, modern audience, you know, like that's basically it. Yeah, License to Kill was the only one that I think was R. There might have been another one, but I don't remember. But License to Kill was rated R. It was rated R.
With 007 First Light's character-first approach to delivering a fully realized Bond adventure, it's so far got the charm, wit, and raw energy to make this spy thriller one to keep an eye on as its May release fast approaches. For more on the latest upcoming games, check out our recent previews of The Blood of Dawnwalker and Hell Let Loose Vietnam.
Yeah, I got to be real with you. I'm quite disappointed, you know? I was 50-50 on this game because, again, I understand they are going, like, the story just seems extremely suspicious in my opinion. Very, very, like, typical modern audience bullshit. But as always, as a reviewer, it's my job to take my fucking, you know, my own thoughts out of it and just review the game for what's good and what's bad in the game so that people can understand what's good and what's bad. But I got to be real with you. That is extremely disappointing. Knowing that there is pretty much zero blood. I saw not a single lick of it. So zero blood whatsoever in the combat. Even shooting somebody in the fucking face is zero blood. In like today's world, really? Really? Like, what? It makes me think, what else are you pussyfooting around? Because if you can't even show that in combat and you have the rating to show it, it's not like you were going for an E for everyone rating. Like you gotta, bro. Oh man. Anyway. It's fine. It is what it is. We'll continue later. That's basically it for that trailer.